New regional forms is obviously something that is going that would be in this game. I can imagine. What about let's start with the starter Pokemon,
Would it?
right?
I don't know.
Because it kind of you could make the argument they're phasing them out.
What? Okay, yeah, sure. I mean that is true.
If it's all in a city.
I think you take any Pokemon that's not native to Kalos, you bring it into Lumio City or Kalos, and there's a potential for it to get a regional form. I think that's absolutely a possibility. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think the regional forms were like most emphasized in Legends Arceus. I agree that Scarlet and Violet didn't go ham when they could have.
They did not.
They did not. But instead we got all the Paradox Pokemon. That's like a dozen. That's kind of like regional. They're like time forms, right? Not really, but that's kind of
different though.
Visually, that's what they are.
Kind of like this kind of goes back to like the time period too, because like if it's 10 years after, like you know, in that scenario, it feels a little less believable to me that all of a sudden within 10 years, not only has
that's a good point.
I don't know, Corviknight migrated to Paldea, but they've also evolved into a completely different form of Corviknight.
Well, it happens though. I mean, look at the starters of Legends Arceus. Like, they just were literally brought by Lavington to Hisui, and then they just evolved.
That's a little bit different though, because that's like Dewey is now basically evolving into something different. This would be like. Any of the lines that completely change.
Yeah, I think we like to think that they change over time, like it's more like actual evolution.
Yeah, this is
and the Pokemon.
Point,
I believe they've stated it's over time.
The Dex has said that it's kind of like that, but then you have these examples like this where it can also just be that like they're in this environment and when they evolve they change because the environment around them.
Yeah, I agree. I
think it's full. Massive mass outbreaks in Legends Arceus would imply that there are, in fact, a population of Oshawott, Rowlet.
Wow, that's a good point.
That's right, but that's the same point though. It's like they evolve when they're there. That's how they evolve. It depends on like where they are. Like that's what they evolve into. I don't know.
I think any form
where and when, because if you evolve Quilava in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, it's gonna look like a Jotonian Typhlosion.
Yeah, that's that is interesting to think about. But I do think we're gonna get some. That's like a plot hole.
If you evolve any Pokemon that you caught in like Paldea in the Indigo Disc place, then it evolves into its regional form.
Yeah,
except Raichu for some reason. There's a weird. Yeah. Did you guys know that? Like if you evolve Raichu in the coastal thing, it becomes Cantonian Raichu.
Yeah.
So that bothered me so much. I legit made a video on it.
Why does that happen?
I like that.
Shameless plug. I think I came up with a good explanation for what that's worth.
There's no pancakes.
Maybe. I just feel like especially after like Scarlet and Violet introduced like the regional fakes, but like they're Toedscruel and whatnot. I don't know. Like I don't think there's like any like super concrete logical explanation behind like what makes a regional form tick.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, it's Pokemon lore.
It's so
and also
strange.
they explain it away with different universes too, which is a typical thing to do.
So like true.
Like if you're talking about Diamond and Pearl and Quilava not evolving into Typhlosion or Hisui and Typhlosion, it's a different time or a different universe,
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing, is it's like a different time. Like Hisui is no longer that rugged environment with the spiritual energy that allows Quilava to evolve like that.
Mm-hmm.
It is pre-established lore though that the ultimate weapon does turn regular evolution stones into mega stones.
Ooh.
So if this is post second ultimate weapon, then that would suddenly explain why there are new mega stones that lead to new mega evolutions. So I go more the route of like I think we'll have more new mega evolutions than new regional forms.
That's a fair point. So
for me though,
Pokemon
would
do you
that
think could get
take the
those?
place? Would that take the place of regional forms, or would that take the place? To me, I feel like that would take the place of cross-gen evolution. So it wouldn't take the place of Hisui and Lilligant, but it'd take the place of Ursaluna and Weird Ear.
That's a good question. I feel like it would mostly take the place of regional forms in general. Like I feel like there's still a possibility we could get regional forms, but I think they'd be in a reduced capacity compared to Legends Arceus. I feel like it'd be like Scarlet and Violet, where there's only a few of them.
Yeah.
And most of the new stuff we get is mega evolutions.
Are you upset though if we only get megas? Because I feel like most people in the community are just like just megas will be lame. But
Yeah,
I think
because they're temporary.
It depends on what comes after this. Because
Good
if
point.
they go right back to just axing megas for 10 more years after this,
Yeah.
it's feel underwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know if they return regional forms. I don't know. What if it was just like I was thinking about like city forms, like they're just regional
Sure,
forms,
like
but
urban
in the
forms.
City. Yeah, urban.
That'd be
There you
cool.
go. So like any city you're in, they change.
It is
kind
a
of thing.
good opportunity to make like a regional variant that has never been done before, because you won't get like city variants in any other region after this, probably.
Yep.
Yeah, and a lot.
Give me
Maybe
a
this
Rat
is the
King
gen.
evolution to eradicate.
Yeah.
They like to do new things. That's all I'm saying.
Normal poison.
Unova
Writes itself.
is pretty urban. Like, what if this was
Then
the
they would
Gen
add
5
them,
game
though.
people were thinking it was?
Yeah.
Like, this is the Gen
Maybe.
5 remake.
maybe.